If you've seen this channel before, you'll know my stance on wokeness. I utterly despise it, because woke culture never fixes anything. It always makes things worse, whilst allowing its followers to claim false victimhood. And you'll also know my stance on anti-vaxxers. Now, there are some people who can't be vaccinated due to underlying health conditions, but for me, if you can be vaccinated, you should be. It's the moral thing to do. But it's a choice. No one's being forced to have it, although choices do have consequences. So if you don't want to be vaccinated, you don't have to be. I mean, you are in the wrong and the rest of the world is laughing at you. To quote Jimmy Carr, the spread of coronavirus is determined by the density of the population. And as we've seen, some of the population are really fucking dense. But because the anti-vax crowd are rapidly losing what can jokingly be called their side of the argument, some of them are attempting to go woke, because vaccination rates are soaring due to Omicron. But before we look at woke anti-vaxxers, let's have a look at the history of the anti-vax movement. Being paranoid and medically ignorant isn't anything new. In the USA, well over a century ago, Chinese workers arrived and were seen to administer inoculations. And this confused some of the white Americans who looked at these people as little more than Oriental savages. So they looked at inoculations and later vaccinations with suspicion. Because these people weren't just flying in the face of Western medicine, they were flying in the face of Christianity. So vaccinations got linked to Satanism. So if we then scroll forward to say around this time last year, a group of armed lunatics stormed the US Capitol building believing in a Satan-worshipping cabal, and they were suspicious about vaccinations. So QAnon can be traced back to the Chinese workers arriving in the USA. And like most conspiracy theories, it's based on good old-fashioned racism. The crossover between the tinfoilers and white supremacists is unusually high. In the footage I've seen of anti-vax riots in the USA, most of the crowd look like they're still pissed that African Americans can sit where they want on the bus. And here in the UK, many prominent anti-vaxxers are also Holocaust deniers. So that's nice. So now, out of sheer desperation, it appears that some anti-vaxxers are projecting their racism onto other people. This has just started on social media, usually in the comment sections on vaccine news stories. What these anti-vaxxers are saying is that if you're fully vaccinated, it proves you're a racist. The reason for what, if you squint a bit, we could vaguely call an idea, is that when vaccine rollout started in the UK, a number of ethnic minorities, percentage-wise, weren't as quick on the uptake as the Caucasian population. And that's it. That's the entire argument. Percentage-wise, more white people are vaccinated than ethnic minorities. They are clutching at fucking straws now. You may find it hard to believe the reasons that I'm double jabbed and boosted. And it's not because I'm trying to join the local branch of the KKK. No, it's more, I didn't want either me or my nearest and dearest to die in a hospital corridor. But for anti-vaxxers, the truth doesn't matter. They will lie about anything if it helps their agenda. A few days ago, the actress Betty White sadly passed away. But within minutes of her death being announced, anti-vaxxers had taken to social media, lying, saying that she died of a severe reaction to her booster jab. That was quickly disproved, and it proves how fucking low they will stoop. Now, is it just me? Or does anyone else not have a problem believing that a 99-year-old woman may have died of natural causes? So let's do a recap. Many years ago, a group of people saw another group of people who were a different colour to them doing something they didn't understand, so they invented a story to stir up hatred. That's essentially every conspiracy theory. Some fucktard doesn't understand something, so it can't be real. And then generation after generation of far-right fucktards kept the story going, but also kept adding bits to it, until it reached a point where the far-right fucktards couldn't support their argument, so instead they labelled everyone who didn't agree with their new point of view as also being a far-right fucktard. 2022 has got off to a flying start. As ever, thanks for watching. White Americans saw the Chinese administering inoculations although they did bring opium with them as well. None can be oh, fuck it. So, no, that's fucking gone. Down to good old-fashioned racism. Don't sound so fucking happy about it, now. Generation after generation of well, switch off, you prick. Generation after generation of far-right fucktards then did whatever's wrote in my pocket. So, let's